Hi, my name is Madison. Welcome back to my channel if you're new, or hello for the first time. So in this video, I'm going to give you a little update on a project that I'm working on right now. If you're new here, I'm basically working on a project that helps host, manage their parties. So I've made a little bit of progress recently. Of course, now I'm trying to index things in Indexeddb. The first thing I'll be starting off with is showing you my code, and then I'll show you what it looks like in my browser. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is actually the HTML. So basically some changes that I've made in my HTML kind of below ensure that the user can access multiple things at one time without having to do any repeats. So initially, over kind of in this invitation section, I had it kind of split up between electronic invitations versus paper invitations, but I realized there was so much overlap, so I actually just condensed it down, and then I put a special divide for either paper or a special divide if it was an electronic invitation, so the user wouldn't have to it wouldn't show up two different pages, which makes it so much easier for me to index each value. And also I decided to create the table finally, and these two things, of course, if you're an electronic invitation, a address isn't required, or if you're a paper, an email address isn't required, but my code either deletes one column depending on the invitation type. But I kept a phone number because I was thinking later on, when I start using different applications and learning how to code different things, I might as well keep the phone number just to send reminders to both types of invitees. Okay, so here is my code. The Indexeddb is up there, but it's not really working right now, but that's okay. For example, invite type. So this is an event listener, basically. So when the invite type submit button is clicked, which is right here, once that value, when someone clicks it, it submits the value of if the invite type is equal to a different option. Of course it depends, but this is just some regular not JavaScript, jQuery. There's so many sources outline if you want to use jQuery, but I highly recommend because it makes things so much easier to select values. So basically when that button's clicked, what type of invitation is, whether it's electronic or paper, and then I change the color, so I kind of change the background. And as you can see for here, the table, it deletes the cell. If it's a paper invite, it deletes the cell for email. Whereas if it's an electronic invitation, it deletes the cell with the home address. Now this is a part that I'm trying to work on, which is in my code, but I want it to toggle button so it doesn't have to show you how do you format an address every time. But that's one of the two things that I'm working on right now. And then that happens, and it slides down this new class where you can add an individual guests in, and then I open up a new database. Now I'm working on adding a new database because it's kind of an either or situation, but I'll show you up here. It's basically the same as the index I've done for the user's name and date, but it has some differences. For example, we are rendering different items, giving different values, but of course that's the part that I'm still working on right now. Okay, so this is kind of what the first part looks like in the browser. I've already done this first part multiple times, and because I'm using Indexeddb, it automatically saves the values for a fairly long time. I think I'll go back to it and I'll add different things I don't know, passwords and having a username and everything like that. But for right now, because I'm still pretty new at this project, I'm working one step at a time, I'm not going to do that quite yet. Okay, so then I press continue, it's working, and then this is the same as the other index, but I'm finally made some progress with this create guest list part. So if I select paper or electronic, I'll submit this value, and like this shows up because I selected electronic, so as you can see it doesn't have like the address. Whereas if I did paper and I submitted it, we would have the address box come up. Now this part is something that I'm trying to toggle, but it's not really working right now. I'm gonna have to figure that out for myself. But as you can see, there's an address, and unlike with the other one, like you don't see an email address, you just see the address. So kind of what I'm working on right now moving forward is using Indexeddb. So like when I submit, what should happen is it should show up on this table, but the problem that I'm having right now is it doesn't realize, like, my program doesn't know how to decipher between using the guest addresses or the email. So I'm trying to learn how to use those different types of conditionals. Those are like the two places where I'm moving forward, but I think ultimately over the course of this month I've made a lot of progress. As you can see, I'm still working on adding to each of my guest invitations, in addition to learning how to toggle information using jQuery, but ultimately I think I've made some good progress this month. Please come back for the next video, and I hope you found some value. Have a good day no matter your situation or location. Bye!